Hi guys, so the other day I was thinking of some videos to make and for topics, and I realized that I've told you guys a lot of very personal stuff about me, but I have never told you guys about the scariest experience of my life. I've had a gun drawn on me when I started ding dong dishing a couple of years ago, and I've been sick for basically like an entire year. But this one is definitely the scariest, and it kind of still haunts me a little bit to this day. This also happened a little bit over a year ago while I was working at Domino's Pizza. I was on my way to work, and it was very weird because I always listen to music in my car. I'm always listening to something. Even when I'm delivering pizzas, there is always something that I am listening to. But this one day I had nothing playing on. It was just in my car, and I was like just to myself thinking of something, and out of nowhere I just heard a pop, and it confused me. I thought it was a car behind me. I thought I got hit or something, and I pulled into a McDonald's to see like what happened. Am I okay? Like, is the car okay? I really didn't know what was going on, and I was very surprised because when I got back in my car from checking on it, nothing happened. I realized that I couldn't hear anything. I saw this guy talking to somebody when my window was rolled down, and I couldn't hear him. He wasn't far away. If I had to give an example of what it kind of sounded like, it was more than muffled. I pretty much, like, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't make anything out whatsoever. I turned on my radio and I started blasting my radio, and I even saw faces like inside McDonald's like looking at me, and so I turned it down all the way and I still couldn't hear it. So really quickly I texted my parents and I basically said, I'm here, I don't know what's wrong, and I was really scared. My parents rushed to me, and basically they had to tell me later on that I was basically like yelling at them because I couldn't hear him. Like, I was speaking very loud. I couldn't even hear myself, really. If you were to like close your ears and listen to yourself talk, I really couldn't even hear that. It was a very muffled sound and low sound of that too. So immediately they took me into a emergency room. It wasn't like a big hospital or anything like that. It was basically like a very quick place to diagnose something very fast, and the doctor scared the crap out of my parents because they thought that I was having an aneurysm. Basically what that is, it's like your brain is bleeding, and my grandpa actually died of that, so it freaked them out. Both of my parents took me and rushed me to a hospital a little ways away to where I could somehow get treated for this, and I didn't even know what was going on. They just basically, like, I could see their mouth moving saying like, calm down, we're taking you to a hospital. That's basically all I pointed out. The whole entire time I was at the hospital, I was getting x-rays done. I kept on, like, I was laying down. I couldn't eat anything just because of the x-rays. It was a very confusing time. I basically just felt like I was being pushed around everywhere, and there was nothing I could do. One of the most annoying things also was I was just laying there, and I think we were laying there for around like 3 hours, and nobody even came to see us or anything like that. So we were all kind of like freaking out. My dad would keep going in and out of the room, and so would my mom, and I was just so confused about what was going on. Now, after hours and hours and hours of staying up, especially like during the night as well, I could finally start hearing a little bit better. It was still very muffled, but I kind of, even though it was a short amount of time, I started learning very quick that I had to just watch people's mouths and kind of take out words that I could see, I guess. Now, with all the tests and the x-rays, they really couldn't find anything. But there was still one test they had to do, which I would probably have to say is the most painful thing I have probably ever done. I've broken bones, I've like ran on broken bones, I've like broke like the bone more than what it's already been broken. But what I had done was called a spinal tap, and they basically took a giant needle and was going to test my spinal fluids. I didn't think it was going to be all that bad until I saw how big the needle was and when it got stuck in my back. It basically felt like, even though I was on medication, it still felt like somebody was putting a knife through my back, and I could even feel it in my stomach. The pain, of course, hurt, but one of the weird things was having something stuck in your back that you could feel in your stomach, and that just made it really uncomfortable. Now, a spinal tap actually takes a lot of precision, which my doctor didn't really have. He messed up putting in the needle to where it's supposed to go 5 times, which means I had to have it taken out and put it back in 5 times. But basically, instead of having 1 spinal tap, I had 5 of them. And each one was pretty much more uncomfortable and more painful than the other one. I started getting my hearing back and I slept really hard throughout the night, also because of the medication I was on. And when I woke up, I was almost to perfect hearing. My parents had been telling me what was going on. The doctors even came in and started doing a little bit more tests on me. And we pretty much came up to the conclusion that they have no idea what it exactly was. If there was a word for it, I cannot pronounce it. I think the closest thing they came to was it was a certain type of seizure or something like that, or a lack of fluid or something. But every now and then I think about it and just kind of, what if it is something we have no idea of and I don't know how to prevent it or what I'm waiting for. I don't think about it too much because I'm just praying that everything's fine, and everything has been fine ever since. I have had other instances with kind of injuries into my head. This one time my friend was like poking me with a pencil just playing around, and I couldn't even feel it. Come to find out that my whole entire head was completely numb, and that happened a couple of weeks before this whole head traumatizing can't hear thing. So yeah, that's the scariest thing that has ever happened in my life. Probably also the most painful, but it's been a very weird experience, and I just hope nothing ever happens. I'm sure I'll be fine. It's whatever. I'm just gonna live, and yeah, living would be the best option. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A little story of something I don't think I've told. I really doubt it if I have. I covered it just a little bit. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.